As we are moving forward in the hours that we are together today, it is our desire to do such an effective job of focusing upon that aspect of your focused ability that as you listen to us, you will find resonance with our knowledge to the point that it is your knowledge as well. Because when you remember that you are a vibrational being, and when you remember that the way you feel is about your vibrational alignment, when you consciously utilize your emotional guidance system in order to deliberately activate a frequency within yourself that allows alignment with the frequency of your source, when you get this all into the perspective of who you really are as brilliant, genius, leading edge creators who have come into this perfect arena of balance and variety for the express purpose of identifying from your personal preferences the things that from where you stand appeal to you in terms of improvement. And then to practice that vibrational frequency and allow that improvement to fill in all of the magnificent ways that it will. We use the words fill in because initially, when you achieve a vibrational alignment with a desire, what does that feel like? When you desire something and you doubt it, that's not vibrational alignment with desire. That's vibrational contradiction to the desire. That's vibrational resistance to the desire. And your negative emotion lets you know that. When you have a desire that thrills you, that's vibrational alignment with the desire. And under those conditions, when you feel good about your desire, which was what we were wanting to evoke from you in our earlier comments, when you feel good about your desire, when your desire thrills you, when it feels exciting to you, when you feel passionate about it, or even when you feel peaceful about it or feel contentment about it, those good feeling emotions are your indication that there's no vibrational contradiction. And under those conditions, you have accomplished the first and foremost, the most important of all, manifestation. And we want you to accept that emotion as the first manifestation. Now, we were just talking about how it's not just the first manifestation, it's the long range manifestation. It's the reason that you want every single thing you want is for that manifestation. So you could say you don't want to, but you could say you don't want to. But you could say, even though you really don't want to, you could say that because you can find a way of feeling good immediately, you have the ability to accomplish instant manifestation. You don't want to, but you could say you have the ability to accomplish instant manifestation. And if you will accept that emotion that you can achieve within 10 minutes, no matter what, we're not kidding you, as the manifestation that you are looking for, then you will accomplish a sort of vibrational grid. Good word. That it is our absolute promise to you will fill in with what you want to call even more satisfying, even more meaningful evidence of the manifestation you've already achieved. The first manifestation is a feeling. Next, you'll start having thoughts that match it. Good feeling thoughts that match it. So the next manifestation, after the manifestation of the emotion, will be more manifestations, more things that enhance that first manifestation. So the emotion's just going to feel better. It's going to get stronger. It's going to feel more specific. So we could say to you, in fact we will, that this first manifestation is a general manifestation in that I feel good just because I want to, or I feel good because I'm anticipating things coming, don't know what, don't know where, don't know when, don't know who necessarily, and don't need those specifics to feel good. That's the point that we want you to come to. I don't need all of those specifics to initially feel good, because I can feel good in the general sense that things always work out for me, in the general sense that the laws of the universe are always consistent, in the general sense that I have an emotional guidance system that will help me to keep myself in alignment with who I am, in the general sense that I accept that I am a worthy being. Well, that's general, but most of you aren't really doing a very good job of that because you have specifically been not feeling worthy for a very long time. So when we say, oh, you are worthy, you say, yeah, but tell me how to get the things I want. Tell me how to get the things I want, and when I get them, I will feel worthy. And we say, well, you have to feel worthy, you have to feel capable, you have to feel excited, you have to be vibrationally ready before those things can come. And you say, yeah, but if you just show me how to get them, then I will have a feeling response to them. And we say, we know you would, but don't play the game that way. Because if you need the evidence before you have the feeling, then you slow it all way down. But if you can show yourself, and you can show yourself that today in the hours that we are together, that you can accomplish the emotional manifestation, you can feel better now about anything that is your desire or your issue. When you show yourself that, and you practice it, not because you have the ulterior motive, oh yeah, I'll do this boring work that Abraham is teaching me, and if I do it long enough, then I'll get what I really want. It is not for that ulterior motive. We want you to do it for the instant manifestation of achieving the vibrational emotion of well-being, which is the reason that you want every single thing to come into being anyway. We know you heard it. Before we're finished today, we want you to know it like we know it. Because when you discover the power of your ability to focus, the power of your ability to focus yourself into a good feeling emotion, you are free from all bondage. You are free from all bondage which exists for only one reason. It exists because there is vibrational resistance within you that you've practiced into place. And when you let go of that vibrational resistance that you've practiced into place, then it's as simple as saying, I like that. You achieve the vibrational good feeling of it, and then the universe says to you, and we're not kidding you about this at all, that feeling that is chronically present within you matches this. Would you like some of it? Matches this. Would you like some of it? Matches this. Matches this. Matches this clarity. Matches this vitality. Matches this stamina. Matches this conversation with this lovely person. Matches this piece of information that is just the right information at the right time. Matches this rendezvous with this set of people. Matches this experience. Matches this manifestation. In other words, the matching just gets more and more and more and more deliciously and satisfyingly specific. But you got to start with the foundation that as it fills in with stuff you do want rather than stuff you don't want. That was just brilliant. You know, if you've been listening to us for a while, you're bored with us. Because we've been saying the same thing to you in different ways for quite a long time. And the significant thing that we want you to realize is that everything that you want, no matter what it is, whether it's a relationship or a material object or a pile of money or a vacation or a conversation or an improved physical condition, everything that you want it because you believe you will feel better once you have it. And we want you to realize that all along, whether you knew it or not, that emotional improvement has been your objective. How you feel is everything, because how you feel is what you be in any moment in time. In other words, that's the life you're living. How you're feeling is 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 what it's about. And it doesn't matter what you're using as your excuse to feel the way you want to feel. In other words, whether it's the accomplishment of something that will be revered by others, or whether it's the accomplishment of something that just gives you personal satisfaction, or whether it's the accomplishment of something that can be measured in terms of assets or financial remuneration, or whether it's progress in terms of your physical prowess or your physical recovery, or an improvement in a relationship, or just improvement in clarity or in flexibility or in stamina or in energy or in stability. In other words, every single thing you want it because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. And that's a better way of saying it. Of course, it sounds like a freak show to anyone outside these walls, because they don't really get the power of focus and the power of thought and the power of mind and the power of the wholeness and the power of the expansion and the power of who you really are. Most physical beings are so, human beings are so oriented toward the here because they can see it, describe it, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. It's the way it is mostly defined. But the nowness can reach beyond what you're seeing or hearing or smelling or tasting or touching, because what you are feeling is always evidence of that convergence between the source part of you and the physically focused part of you. You know you are more than you see sitting here in these chairs, yes? 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 Well, maybe you do and maybe you don't, because you've got so used to thisness. Here I am. Let me look at my tongue this morning and see how I'm doing. Here I am in my physical beingness, and we say, well, that's a start. At least you're not calling yourself physical doers or physical havers. You are getting that you are being, and in this beingness there is this emotion that lets you know in every moment how you be. How you be. Your emotion lets you know how you be. And the better you feel, the better you be. Meaning the more of you are allowing to be. When you're ornery, well, not you. We know that you are not ever ornery. Not you. But when those other ones are ornery, what that means is they're not letting themselves be, not really be. They've got a good part of their true beingness pinched off because they're focused upon something that the larger part of them does not agree with, and so they can't be where the larger part of them is. They are disallowing the larger part of them. When you are afraid, that fear is just the indicator that you're not being, you're not knowing, you're not being who you really are. So, as we call this gathering the art of allowing, we're really talking about the art of being who you really are. The art of being the full being that is really who you are. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. What you have noticed, if you've been playing with us at all, is that when you gather in a forum like this, that the actual gathering has taken place before you dragged your physical bodies here. Because what you've been living, as you've been sifting and sorting, has been launching these rockets of desire that are vibrationally preceding your manifestation. Now we're having a manifestation here today. Here you all are. You've manifested yourselves into this beautiful space, in this beautiful city, on this beautiful day, surrounded by beautiful people. In other words, this is a lovely manifestation. And it's going to get lovelier as the day unfolds, because more and more of that which you be is going to join that which you were and become that which you are. In other words, it's really a wonderful thing to watch the blending of that which is you. Sometimes as you come, you're still sort of caught up in where you've come from, what's been going on, sort of a busy morning for some of you, just sort of getting from wherever you are, except for the lazy ones that are at home still, feet up on desks with their breakfast still munching, in other words. So here you are, here we be in this process of blending. And what is most exciting to us, and we mean that in the fullest sense of the word, because it thrills us every time it happens, and it happens every time, is that as we begin, you are individual more consciousnesses who have come from your individual more experiences where what's been going on with you is active in your vibration. And some of what's been going on with you has you a little bit fragmented or not completely immersed or blended with the whole of who you are, because you've been having some thoughts that your inner being does not agree with. You get what we mean by that? You were source energy before you came into this physical body. And even though a part of consciousness came into this body and you recognize it as you, the personality that is you, the larger part of who you are did not come forth into this personality but remained non-physically focused. That's what so many people throughout time have understood sporadically as they speak of soul, or as they speak of that source, as they speak of that heaven,